This is the Cyrus i9 XR that we're discussing. After Ed's flights of fancy, we're going to bring this back vaguely into the real world and talk about an amplifier that's yours for £3,295. Cyrus was creating lifestyle equipment before lifestyle equipment was even a thing. Basically, they have a sort of a half-size casework. It's half the width of the majority of separates, and they have been putting components of all types into casework this small for the thick end of 40 years now. And the i9 XR is their most recent integrated amplifier. And I have to say, I have some issues with this amplifier, but none of them concern the way it sounds. I love the Cyrus sound. I've always enjoyed it, and this is just like an Uber Cyrus. Really, it's very fast, it's very lean, it's very detailed, it's very maneuverable, and it's absolutely faithful to the source equipment that you put in. A lot of people like bass, yeah, and I think at first acquaintance, a Cyrus amplifier can sound like it's short of bass, but it's not. There is as much body and as much substance there as there is in the music that it's playing, but it's just so rapid and so well controlled that it can, on first acquaintance, sound insubstantial. But it isn't. It is what Cyrus deals in is realism, and that's why I like the sound of this amplifier so much. It's exceptional, I think, for the money.
So you're saying it's not like that overblown kind of bass, maybe a more precise representation of what was on the original recording. It's
realistic is what it is. It doesn't, I've heard other amplifiers at this sort of money, and they put you in mind of a Vauxhall Nova driving past with an excitable young man at the wheel. But no, this is a realistic sound. This is fidelity. And as a consequence, it makes everything sound the way it ought. And even though this is a tiny device, relatively speaking, certainly compared to the Macintosh stuff that Ed's been enjoying, it still has support for 9 devices, a record player, 4 analog sources, 4 digital sources, 5 actually, if you count the USB. And this is where this is where I just start to struggle a little bit with this product, because you can see on the back of there, this is a half-width product. There is binding for 2 pairs of speakers. There is a total of 9 inputs, digital and analog. As an MC bus, so you can join other Cyrus equipment to it and use a common remote control. There's pre-outs for a recording device. There's where you keep your mains power, of course. And so with incredible and almost noble disregard for logic, Cyrus has decided that they ought to put the headphone socket on the back as well. If you've connected 9 sources to this, and maybe a Cyrus power supply, and maybe you've connected a recording device to it as well, then it's going to be pretty busy around the back of there. So having to search around there to make a connection for your headphones as well it's not the most elegant solution I've ever encountered.
Yeah, so that means either a dedicated pair of headphones that you never unplug and take anywhere else, or some kind of plug-in socket that you bring around to the front of the device.
Or a light for a strap light.
Well, if you want to go
like
delving round at the back of the thing in nests of cables, that's absolutely your choice, Simon. Quite a business-looking...
It's my job, is what it is.
A business-like looking beast, isn't it? When you compare it to the sort of romanticism of the Macintosh, perhaps. It's a very plain, business-like looking component. I read it's got 7 digital filters.
There are 7 digital filters, yes. Well, I mean, if you listen to a lot of different types of genre of music and you listen to them from a lot of different digital sources, these are worth investigating, and it kind of makes the owner feel like they're having some say in the eventual sound, I think. But ultimately, this is the Cyrus sound we're paying for. And if I haven't rhapsodized about that enough, then the Cyrus sound is worth paying for. And you don't want the end user sticking their oar in really too much, I don't think. I think Cyrus knows best here, ultimately. I think it's a little gesture towards... If your digital sources are numerous, then perhaps you can affect the sound a little bit from source to source in the sound that you get. But they don't make a huge difference, no.
Simon, thank you very much.